Hello, and welcome to this video brought to you by No Panic UK. My name is Noor, and today we're going to talk about health anxiety, a condition that impacts many people but often remains misunderstood. If you've ever found yourself overwhelmed by the thought that a small symptom could indicate a life-threatening illness, or if you've repeatedly sought reassurance about your health, you are not alone. Health anxiety affects an estimated 5% of the general population, and it can be incredibly distressing. But here's the thing. Health anxiety is treatable, and there are practical strategies and insights you can use to manage it. In this video, we'll be covering what health anxiety looks like in everyday life, how physical symptoms of anxiety can feel very real and why they cause so much distress, how health anxiety develops and why it can become a cycle of worry, common myths that people with health anxiety often face, evidence-based strategies to help manage health anxiety, including grounding techniques and the no panic breathing exercise, how to recognize when your anxiety is escalating and steps to prevent it from becoming overwhelming, when to consider reaching out for support, and how doing so can make all the difference. I want to reassure you that health anxiety is manageable. You don't have to continue feeling trapped by it. By the end of this video, you'll have tools and techniques to help you manage your anxiety, reduce your fears, and take back control of your life. So let's start by defining what health anxiety is and what it looks like in daily life. Health anxiety, sometimes called hypochondria, is characterized by excessive worry about having or developing a serious illness. But it's not just about occasional worry about health. For someone with health anxiety, the fear of illness can feel constant, pervasive, and overwhelming. Health anxiety doesn't just show up as thinking about your health too much. It manifests in several ways, both mentally and physically. People with health anxiety often experience intrusive thoughts about their health. These thoughts can become obsessive and may seem uncontrollable. Here are some examples of thoughts you might recognize. I have a headache. It must be a brain tumor. My stomach is upset. Maybe it's cancer. I'm feeling dizzy. What if I'm having a heart attack right now? What makes health anxiety different from normal concern is that the worry is disproportionate to the actual risk. Health anxiety also shows up as specific behaviors. These can include body checking. Many people with health anxiety engage in constant physical checks. This could involve repeatedly feeling for lumps, measuring your pulse, or checking your temperature. These behaviors, though seemingly innocent, actually fuel the anxiety. The more you check, the more likely you are to notice new things to worry about, which reinforces your fears. Another common behavior is seeking constant reassurance. You might ask family members, friends, or even doctors for reassurance, even after you've been told everything is fine. This reassurance is usually temporary, and anxiety often returns. Researching symptoms. It's also common for people with health anxiety to spend a lot of time researching symptoms online. While this might feel like a way to gather information, studies have shown that this behavior often leads to an increase in anxiety. Let's walk through a typical scenario. Imagine you wake up with a mild headache. For most people, it's just a passing discomfort, but for someone with health anxiety, that headache immediately triggers fear. You might Google your symptoms, and within minutes, you've convinced yourself you have a serious condition, perhaps even a brain tumor. You check your pulse, feel your head for any abnormalities, and ask family members if they think you look okay. This cycle of worry and checking often leads to intensified anxiety, even if the symptoms are completely benign. One of the reasons health anxiety is so difficult to manage is because anxiety itself creates real physical symptoms. These physical sensations can mimic those of serious health conditions, making it even harder to distinguish between what's real and what's caused by anxiety. When you're anxious, your body activates the fight or flight response. This is your body's natural reaction to stress, preparing you to face danger. But when the danger is something like an imagined health issue, like fearing a heart attack, this response causes physical symptoms that are often misinterpreted as serious illness. Let's explore some of the physical symptoms commonly associated with health anxiety. Heart palpitations. One of the most common physical symptoms of anxiety is heart palpitations, or a racing heart. When you're anxious, your heart rate increases in response to the stress. While it can feel like a heart attack, these palpitations are generally harmless and subside once your anxiety decreases. Dizziness and lightheadedness. Another symptom is feeling dizzy or lightheaded. This is usually caused by shallow breathing, a common response to anxiety. Shallow breathing reduces the amount of oxygen in your blood, which can make you feel faint or unsteady. Although this sensation can be alarming, it's rarely a sign of something more serious. Chest tightness. Anxiety often causes muscle tension, especially in the chest, neck, and shoulders. This can lead to a sensation of tightness in the chest, which is often mistaken for a heart problem. Other symptoms. Other symptoms can include shortness of breath, nausea, sweating, and tingling sensations. These symptoms, although distressing, are typically caused by the physical effects of anxiety on the body. What's important to understand is that these physical sensations are a natural part of anxiety and are not indicative of serious illness. As anxiety decreases, these physical symptoms usually resolve. Understanding why health anxiety develops can help you break the cycle. Often it begins with a trigger, something that causes you to become hyper-aware of your health. Common triggers include past health scares. Health anxiety frequently develops after experiencing a personal health scare. If you've had a serious illness or frightening experience, like a family member getting sick, you may start to fear that every minor symptom could indicate a similar fate. Studies have shown that previous health crises are a significant risk factor for developing health anxiety. Family history. If someone in your family has struggled with health anxiety, you may be more likely to develop it as well. Growing up in an environment where health concerns were frequently discussed can create a heightened sensitivity to health in general. Social and media influence. We are constantly exposed to health-related information, and some of it can be overwhelming or sensationalized. For example, hearing about rare diseases on social media or watching dramatic health-related news stories can trigger fears of having similar conditions. The anxiety cycle. Health anxiety often follows a vicious cycle. You notice a minor symptom. You start to worry, thinking it could be something serious. You check your body for more symptoms. The more you check, the more symptoms you find, leading to more anxiety. The cycle continues, reinforcing the fear that something is seriously wrong. There are a few misconceptions that often make it harder to manage health anxiety. Let's take a moment to clear those up. Health anxiety is just excessive worrying. In reality, health anxiety is more than just worry. It's an intense fear that feels real and overwhelming. It can cause real physical symptoms and interfere with daily life. If you're reassured by a doctor, your anxiety should go away. This is not always true. Even when reassured by a doctor, the anxiety often persists. The fear of illness is not easily rationalized away because it's not based on logic, it's based on intense emotional responses. People with health anxiety are just seeking attention. This is not true. People with health anxiety are genuinely afraid of being sick. They are not looking for attention. They're struggling with a deeply ingrained fear that is very real to them. Now let's talk about some strategies that can help you manage health anxiety. These are evidence-based techniques that you can incorporate into your daily routine. The first one is grounding techniques. Grounding exercises help you stay connected to the present moment and shift focus away from anxious thoughts. One effective technique is the 5-4-3-2-1 exercise. Name 5 things you can see, 4 things you can touch, 3 things you can hear, 2 things you can smell, and 1 thing you can taste. This technique can help distract you away from your anxiety and anchor you back in the here and now. You can also use the no panic breathing exercise. It's a calming breathing exercise essential for when you feel anxiety rising. The no panic breathing exercise involves inhale for 4 counts, hold for 4 counts, and exhale for 4 counts. This simple technique triggers your body's relaxation response, helping to reduce the physical symptoms of anxiety and bring your focus away from worry. Recognizing the early signs of rising anxiety is key to preventing it from escalating. Early signs can include a racing heart, shallow breathing, or feeling tense. When you notice these signs, here are some steps you can take. Ground yourself in the present moment. Use the grounding techniques or engage your senses. Use your breathing exercises. Take slow, deep breaths to calm your body. Distract yourself. Engage in an activity that pulls your attention away from your worry. Listen to music, read a book, or go for a walk. The sooner you take action, the easier it will be to manage your anxiety. If you're finding it difficult to manage your health anxiety, or if you're feeling overwhelmed, it's really important to know that you're not alone and support is available. One excellent resource is the No Panic UK Helpline, where you can speak to someone who understands what you're going through and can offer practical advice and support. The No Panic Helpline is available every Monday to Friday from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. Whether you need someone to talk to, want guidance on managing your anxiety, or simply need some reassurance, they're there to help. I highly encourage you to reach out if you feel you need support. It's a safe, confidential space where you can get the help you deserve. To wrap up, remember, health anxiety is treatable. With the right strategies and support, you can regain control over your thoughts and feelings. Take it one step at a time, be patient with yourself, and know that you're not alone. Thank you for watching. You can manage your health anxiety and lead a peaceful, fulfilling life.